So for all of you out there who are wondering when I was going to do this video about the Super Bowl, about the result, and obviously the guy you see right here in Patrick Mahomes. Now, as far as this is concerned, 49ers, I'll be honest, I actually had them pulling this off mainly because of their defense, but apparently you had a certain someone who's getting a lot of heat right now for choking the game up, and even Tyrann Mathieu stated that they were relieved when they stopped running the ball. So in any case, that's not what this is about. This is about the person you see right here as the result of when SYSBM goes right, of when thinking men decide on good stargates, and also the three fates of Black America, as I stated before. Shout out to me, and especially shout out to everyone who has referred to my videos as a case study. Now, Patrick Mahomes, we all know that he was the MVP of last year. He tore up all sorts of records last year. Now this year, people have figured him out. People have brought him down, but only by a peg. But it wasn't enough, as we all saw on Super Bowl 54. But why am I using Patrick Mahomes as a case study? Well, this is what I knew what would happen as the result of thanking ebony men specifically, choosing stargates outside the community. And no, I'm not saying that ebony men with ebony women can't raise good and athletic kids. Obviously, we've seen this before. But that was before the advent of hood, swag, and welfare culture. I mean, if you need an example of someone who actually turned his life around in his ADOS and came from the ADOS struggle that a lot of the community loves to push on you, look at another teammate of Patrick Mahomes and Tyrann Mathieu. His father was incarcerated for most of his life for murder, and his mother basically abandoned him. He had to go from his grandparents to his uncle, and he actually, from my understanding, got caught up in the legal system for a bit, but was able to turn his life around. We've seen individuals who have had, particularly quarterbacks, who have had this swag about them. They'll tear it up in the field. They'll start out of the gate running. They may even win a couple of major victories, but when it comes down to the big game, a lot of them seem to fold. I'm looking at you, Cam Newton. But as far as certain men are concerned, men who have fathers in their lives, men who've had guidance in their lives, men who have families that are more balanced than a breakfast on a Saturday morning, we can't deny that this is the future of America in general, especially of sports. I mean, between Patrick Mahomes, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, the list goes on. The perfect combination of a feminine mother and a masculine father will make it so much easier for these individuals to outthink, outsmart, outmaneuver, and outlast any offspring of the community. But let's look into his actual life. On the article here, it goes into Patrick Mahomes' parents. Actually, by the way, he's Patrick Mahomes II, so just to let you all know the legacy that he has. The reason why I emphasize Patrick Mahomes II is that his father was actually a professional baseball player. Granted, he wasn't the best, but he held his own playing for several MLB teams. And obviously when you have the gene of athleticism, it shows within your kids, as is stated on this JustRiches.com article of Patrick Mahomes' personal life. From the article, Patrick Mahomes II was born to American parents Pat Mahomes and his wife Randy. His father is a former professional baseball pitcher who completed an 11-year stint in Major League Baseball before his retirement in 2003. He began his professional career journey when he was selected by Minnesota Twins in the 6th round of the 1988 MLB draft. His father always wanted Patrick to trail the same path as he did. Nevertheless, the young lad appears to have fallen in love with football. When he was much younger, Patrick fielded balls for Derek Jeter and equally learned to bat along with Alex Rodriguez. Amazingly, Patrick isn't the only athletic offspring of Pat and Randy Mahomes. Patrick has two younger siblings, a brother named Jackson and a sister named Mia Mahomes. Jackson is also an athlete and he plays baseball at White House High School, with his high school career ending in 2018. Mia, who is the baby of the house, is currently in elementary school. Despite the fact that Patrick's parents are not together anymore, the duo raised their kid together, and Patrick's success is a good sign to show for it. Now, a lot of people, particularly the haters, they're going to focus in on that nasty D word that is divorce, which succumbs a lot of couples, regardless of race, in today's society. Which, for a lot of these people who are saying that the game isn't rigged here and it's the best here, well, I beg to differ. We won't get into that discussion for this video, but trust me, we will touch upon that pretty soon. Now, what it states in several articles is that regardless of the fact that Pat Mahomes and Randy are no longer together, they have remained cordial and civil for the sake of their kids. So, with that being stated, even if you are not living with the mother or father of your child, you do not have to succumb to the baby mama, baby daddy, child support, alimony drama that a lot of individuals within the so-called community succumb to, and not even just succumb to, but think it's fashionable. Baby mama and baby daddy drama in the so-called community is as fashionable as a Gucci bag. Let's be real. However, outside the community, a lot of people don't play that. Even if they fall out of love with each other, they never fall out of love with the kids. And a lot of responsible parents will overlook their disagreements with each other for the sake of the children. Now, note that Patrick Mahomes' parents divorced when they were 11. What I'd like to know is how old is the youngest kid? If we can find some way to figure that out and do the math in order to figure out that if they had the youngest daughter after the divorce, that may explain a lot, which leads to my personal theory on this. A lot of interracial couples, particularly those of ebony men and non-ebony women, have a lot of pressure in American society. Mainly a lot of pressure from the alt-righters, SJW leftists to a degree, some pro-vax, and obviously the scraggle-aggle. Mainly the alt-righters and the scraggle-aggles, but a lot of pressure is faced by interracial couples, mainly because society has it infested for you if you are a black man or a white or non-black woman to stay within your group. That is the American way, and granted, a lot of people are swaying away from that to the point in which some people are trying to make it as if, well, the American way is for everyone to love everyone. Well, if that's so, then why do we not see a good representation of interracial couples featuring black men and non-black women? Whenever you see interracial couples, it's either a white male and a non-white female. We just know those are the facts. I'm not even hating. That's just what it is. But a lot of societal pressure on interracial couples, particularly those of black male and non-black female combinations, is something that definitely needs to be observed and talked about. A lot of people say, well, the divorce rates among black men and white women are the highest and blah, 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 blah. Okay, you know what? What about black men and Asian women? A lot of them, depending on which Asian nationality, hovers between 35 and 15%. Believe it or not, look at the stats. I can even post it in the bottom description if you want me to. The fact of the matter is this. Can you raise a successful family within the community? What are your chances of doing that versus raising successful offspring outside of it? We have seen the results so far, and this is just one example of the results that we've seen. I mean, if you really want to look at another quick example, which I can do a video on if you all want me, look at Sonia and Del Curry, who are the parents of Steph Curry. Look at Michael and Julie Thompson, the parents of Klay Thompson. Look at LeVar Ball and Tina Ball, who are the parents of 3 Ball descendants who, they're doing alright in the league, but LeVar Ball is more or less the star in this case. But you all get the picture. This is what a lot of people are afraid of. This is what a lot of those within the so-called community and the so-called superior race are afraid of. Basically, to be proven that thinking men don't need to go back to the community because, in their case, they have other places to go. There's this narrative that a lot of these men shouldn't leave the community because they won't get any respect anywhere else and everyone else will hate them and blah 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 blah. While that may have some fact, note that one, it's these same individuals who will tell you that you don't belong anywhere else and you won't like it anywhere else and they're going to hate you. These will be the same individuals who will be complicit behind that hate. And for all the black male, non-black female couples who make it, they usually raise very accomplished children. Well, to counter the narrative from the community of They don't like you over there though, as well as the stereotypical tragic mulatto trope they love to throw around. Look at Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend, Brittany Matthews. While there have been a lot of changes in Patrick's life, there are some other things that remain constant, and that includes his girlfriend. The quarterback has been in a relationship with a gorgeous lady named Brittany Matthews. The pair has been together since their high school days, and their love for sports has been a greater part of their relationship. Oh, wait. Can you find high school love in the 21st century of any race anymore? How rare is that? Interestingly, while Patrick played football at Texas Tech University, Brittany, on the other hand, was a part of the University of Texas female soccer team. So you had the long-distance relationship, and especially having these two individuals, one, a college quarterback, and two, a female in college. A lot of temptations surrounded both of these individuals, but they were able to maintain their relationship nonetheless. Note that. She is equally a personal trainer and the #1 fan of her man Patrick. The lovebirds are not married yet, and they don't have a daughter or other kids. Although marriage might be somewhere on their list, the couple is currently focused on reaching their peak of their respective careers. Now, this is what happens when you have women who allow you to be on your purpose, who allow you to focus on your goals. And needless to say, Patrick found a quality Stargate when he was in high school. I mean, come on. What more can you ask for? And this is going to be the result of a lot of offspring of these SYSBM couples, these three fates of Black America scenario, multiracial class. You may even have a lot of them just go into either the white class or some other non-black ethnic class, mainly because a lot of them are just finding members of another race to date out. And for the alt-righters, obviously, they have it in their interest to reduce, at the very least, the sight of couples like these and their offspring for one reason. Because they're the rejects of their race. They're the rejects of their race. Let's just call it down the line. These individuals wouldn't last outside the United States, a place that has given them so much unfair, or beyond unfair, just rigged advantages. And even then, half of these alt-righters are borderline incels in whoever's basement. And they can't even get some of the most self-hating Asian, Indian, Latina, and even they may not want the swirlers, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But they can't even get the other woman to like them. So we all know what time it is when it comes to them. And everyone else out there, always bet on X.